Out pass rusher Abdul Carter, selected 3rd overall by the Giants in this year's draft, is already setting lofty goals. Congrats on being a Giant, first of all. His first act as a Giant was to ask to wear 56, a retired number famously worn by Lawrence Taylor, arguably the best defensive player of all time, best New York Giant of all time. LT denied the request, saying that Carter could make his own mark. Dominique Foxer is back here, and Mike T as well. Stephen A., you have a problem with Carter asking to wear LT's number.
Of course I do. Abdul Carter, I'm quite sure, is going to be sensational on the NFL level because we've seen his game in college. We respect him. But he's starting off his NFL career as maybe the most ignorant draft pick in history. This is Lawrence Taylor, my brother, that we're talking about. We have seen the great ones throughout the years. Ray Lewis comes to my mind, along with various others. No one has been compared to Lawrence Taylor. When we say Micah Parsons, we say Lawrence Taylor-like. He showcases some attributes, Dom, Mike T. He showcases some attributes that remind you of. Bill Belichick is an 8-time champion, a 6-time champion as head coach. There are very few things in life that have irritated him more than the notion that somebody would mention themselves or somebody else in the same breath as Lawrence Taylor, somebody he was a defensive coordinator for when they won the Super Bowl championships. This is Lawrence, this is LT. This is LT we're talking about here. Without question, in some people's mind, the greatest defensive player to have ever lived, a Hall of Famer, a 3-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time Super Bowl champion, a league MVP, okay, named All-Pro in each of his first 10 seasons in the National Football League, 7 straight double-digit sack seasons, 132.5 sacks in his career, and that's after it became official, okay, in 1982. This is LT. And before you play an NFL game, Dom, before you take an NFL snap, you're asking to wear that number? That is shameful. Shameful. Go ahead.
So I think the person who I think should be ashamed is Lawrence Taylor. Let the man wear the number. So I don't think that it's disrespect. I think it's homage. I think it's homage to how great he is as a player. To be clear, Abdul Carter came from Penn State, where there is some respect for the number 11. That's a thing that you do. The same thing with number 7 at LSU. The same thing with 88 in Dallas, where it's Pearson to Bryant to CeeDee Lamb now, and of course Michael Irvin. I don't think he's not asking for Lawrence Taylor's number because he wore 56 in college. He didn't. He wore 11. He's not asking for it because he's not aware of who Lawrence Taylor is. He's asking for it because he wants to carry on the legacy.
LT's not mad. He took it. But he rejected it. He took it the way you said he should take it. I'm talking about us, Dom. I'm talking about you, me, Mike T, and others. Wait, of course you don't do that.
Carry on the legacy. No, leave the legacy and create your own legacy, Nick.
Yeah, and Nick, I really don't mean to pile on, but I just think to bring it generationally closer here, this guy's Michael Jordan. Ironically, they went to the same school, but this guy was Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan. And if I'm Abdul Carter, I want to go create my own legacy, my own number, much the way 56 was a nondescript number before Lawrence Taylor became a Giant. It just would be like if a linebacker, if Jihad Campbell got drafted by the Ravens and he showed up and said, hey, guess what? I'm going to be number 52. There's no way another person will ever wear 52 for the Ravens. And I just think the way Lawrence Taylor, the way Stephen A. laid out, this guy a generation ago was Michael Jordan. And I just don't think you walk into that building, into this marketplace and say, hey, I want to wear that number.
I get the point that you guys are making, but I think there's another way to look at it. I brought up Drew Pearson earlier. We're reminded of Drew Pearson and Michael Irvin because 88 is special in Dallas, and Des Bryant because 88 is special in Dallas. I don't think it's a bad idea to do that elsewhere. I don't think that that anyone should feel like it's meant as disrespect. I would understand if he showed up and was like, who's 56? Give me that. That's not what he's saying. He's saying this number matters to this city. I want to have this much, or not even to this city, to this league. I want to have this impact. It's fine if they don't let him do it, but I don't think it's coming from a place of disrespect. And you're right. Lawrence Taylor revolutionized the position. These guys wouldn't be playing the way that they are if it wasn't for him. He changed the game. He is probably the best defensive player in the history of the league. I get that. So it's fine. It's retired. I'm just saying we ain't got to pile on like he's ignorant. He's not ignorant. He knows. He's showing his respect, right? I think.
He's showing his respect. The man's number is retired. He's universally recognized as one of, if not the greatest defensive player to have ever lived. He earned having his number retired to never be worn by anybody again. And you roll up on him before you played the snap and said, yo, man, I'd like to wear your number. Really? Really? Really?
He's free to say no, but it's respect. I don't have a problem with it personally. No, you can't do anything about Lawrence Taylor's legacy.
I'm not saying
what you do with the number. We're never going to forget how great he is.
Nick, go back to painting class.
I'm not saying, and I want to be clear, I'm not accusing Abdul Carter of disrespecting Lawrence Taylor.
It just feels a little like the audacity. You just got to New York, know your history.
You haven't done anything on the NFL level yet, and you want to wear the number of the greatest defensive player to have ever lived who's playing for the franchise you're about to play for.
Right.
Come on, man.
Know your audience.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, Dom.
Yeah, it's just don't get nervous, El Presidente. Stand by your position. You said he was disrespectful.
I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm being clear. I'm being clear.
I actually approve of his message today.
That's
All right, let's stay in New York, but go up north. I think the thumb should be a little higher. The Bills came up short in the playoffs once again last season, but didn't feel pressured to add offensive weapons for Josh Allen in the draft. They waited until the 7th round before drafting a wide receiver for the reigning MVP. Local Bills radio hosts were critical of the team's draft strategy, and Bills GM Brandon Beane took exception to that when he joined the show. Listen up.
I was just listening to the last few minutes of your show before I came on, waiting on here.
All right.
Sounds like 2018 all over with you guys. You guys were bitching in 2018 about Josh Allen. You guys wanted Josh Rosen, and now you guys are bitching that we don't have a receiver. I don't get it. We just scored 30 points in a row for 8 straight games. A year ago, I get you guys asking why we didn't have receivers. No one scored more points than the Buffalo Bills, including the Super Bowl champions. So you just saw us do it without Stephon Diggs, same group. Where do we need to get better? Defense. We did that. So I get it. You got to have a show, and you got to have something to bitch about. But bitching about wide receiver is one of the dumbest arguments I've heard.
Sounds like a Stephen A. take right there, telling it like it is. Mike T, was Beane's rant fair or foul?
Well, Molly, first of all, I have no idea why you would have me on a segment when the general manager's getting criticized. It's really hard for me to relate to this. So I'm going to do my best in this segment, but it's very hard for me to relate to this. Look, good for Brandon Beane. They've done a heck of a job. And look, I'm not saying everybody in the media, but sometimes there's dogma, there's narratives. And when you're sitting there and you work as hard as they're doing and they're as successful as they are, and you hear these hosts talk about something that's just fundamentally not true. They attacked their defense. I thought they had a heck of a draft. They had to get better on that side of the ball. They added some guys in free agency that are dealing with suspensions. I thought they were proactive, smart, strategic. And by the way, they can always add a receiver down the line if they need to, which I don't think they will, because guys like Keon Coleman are